A trauma surgeon for 23 years, and I need to tell you what I saw when I died on that operating table. My name is Dr. Richard Morano, and if you're new here, I need you to subscribe before you hear another word, because what I'm about to share is not something you want to miss. And I also want to hear from you, so drop your experience or your question in the comments below, because after what I witnessed, I believe we all need to be talking about this together. Let me start with what happened, because I know that's why you clicked. In the simplest terms I can give you, I flatlined for 7 minutes during a routine procedure that went terribly wrong. My heart stopped, the monitors screamed, and for 7 minutes I was gone from this world. What I'm about to tell you is not a story I pieced together from fragments. It came to me whole, like a film projected directly into my mind, and I have spent every day since returning trying to find the words for what I witnessed. And I'm going to tell you right now that I still don't have those words. Language fails when you try to describe what I saw. Every sentence I build feels like a child's drawing of the sun. It captures something, but it is so far from the reality that sometimes I just want to stop talking and weep. But I keep talking anyway, because what I was shown about the rapture, about who gets left behind, about millions of American Christians who believe they will be taken up and who will instead be left in the chaos that comes next. That message is too important to hide behind my own inadequacy. So let me try. I was standing in a vast light, though I was not standing. I was not lying down either. I had no body, and yet I was absolutely there, more present than I had ever been in my entire life. And I understood something that I had never understood before, something that theologians have argued about for centuries, and that most Christians in America simply assume they already know the answer to. I understood who gets taken and who gets left behind. And the answer is not what you have been taught in most churches. It is not about saying the right words. It is not about walking an aisle or signing a card or calling yourself a Christian. It is about something far more intimate, far more internal, and far more demanding than anything the American church has made it out to be. Jesus stood before me, and I did not see the gentle teacher from the stained glass windows. I saw power. I saw absolute love that was also absolutely terrifying. And he showed me a field, and in that field were people, so many people, and I knew immediately that they were Americans. I could feel it, the way you can feel the energy of a place, and this was American, through and through. They were dressed in their Sunday best, they had their Bibles in their hands, they were singing hymns, and they were being left behind. The rapture came, and they were not taken. They were left on the ground, weeping, confused, holding their Bibles and not understanding why they had been abandoned. And Jesus showed me the reason. It was not that they were bad people. Most of them had never committed terrible sins. Most of them had been faithful churchgoers for their entire lives. But they had confused comfort with faith. They had confused belonging to a community of believers with actually knowing the living God. They had used their religion as a shield against transformation rather than a tool for it. And when the moment came, they were not ready. Not because of what they had done, but because of what they had refused to become. This is the part that breaks my heart, because I know how this sounds. I know that people are going to say I'm wrong, that I'm deceived, that I didn't really see what I think I saw. And maybe that's true. Maybe I misunderstood something in that place. But I don't think I did. I think I was shown something real, and I think it is already coming true, and I think we are running out of time to change course. Look around you. Look at what has happened since I came back. Churches are more about politics than about prayer. Faith has become a cultural identity rather than a living relationship. People declare themselves Christians and then spend their entire lives never actually changing, never actually surrendering, never actually becoming the kind of people that the New Testament describes. And I don't say this to judge anyone. I say it because I was one of them. I went to church, I said the prayers, I taught Sunday school, and I was dying on that table before I ever really knew God at all. Let me tell you what I mean by that, because I think it's the heart of what I was shown. The people in that field, the ones who were left behind, they had been given everything. They had the truth, they had the scripture, they had the community. But somewhere along the way, they had stopped letting God actually change them. They had made their faith into a comfortable thing, a Sunday morning thing, something that fit neatly into their lives without ever disrupting those lives. And the rapture, the real rapture, the one that Jesus showed me, is not going to wait for people who are comfortable. It is going to come for people who are transformed. It is going to take the broken, the surrendered, the ones who have stopped performing religion and started actually dying to themselves. And millions of American Christians are going to be left behind because they thought that showing up was enough. They thought that believing the right things was enough. They thought that God would grade on a curve because they were good people, because they tried hard, because they really believed. But that's not how grace works. Grace is free, but it is not cheap. And the American church has been selling a cheap version of grace for so long that people have forgotten what the real thing looks like. I saw what it looks like in that place. I saw the difference between people who had been genuinely transformed and people who had just been through religious motions. And the difference was not small, it was not subtle, it was everything. Now I need to pause here because I know some of you are already angry. I know some of you are typing in the comments right now telling me I'm wrong, telling me I didn't see what I think I saw, telling me that you are absolutely certain you will be taken, and that everyone who disagrees is deceived. And I want to hear that. I really do. Drop it in the comments below. I want to know what's in your heart. I want to know what you believe and why. Because here's the thing. If I'm wrong, I want to know. And if you're wrong, I want you to know too. And maybe the only way we find out is by actually talking to each other honestly, not hiding behind our theological positions, but actually sharing what we've seen and heard and experienced. So please, the comments are open. Tell me your story. Tell me what you believe about the rapture. Tell me why you think you'll be taken. I'm listening. But let me continue with what I was shown, because I haven't told you the worst part yet. The worst part is not that they were left behind. The worst part is that they didn't understand why. They had been so sure. They had been so confident. They had built their entire lives around the assumption that they would be taken. And when the moment came, they were still holding their hymnals and their Bibles and their comfortable certainties, and they were still on the ground. And the look on their faces, the confusion, the betrayal, the absolute shattering of everything they thought they knew, that is what I cannot forget. That is what wakes me up at 3 a.m. That is what drives me to make this video, to stand here and tell you that what I saw was a warning, not a promise. And I need you to understand something about the timing of all of this. When I came back, I started watching the world with completely new eyes. I started paying attention to things I had ignored before, patterns I had missed, prophecies I had dismissed as metaphor. And I have to tell you, what I see happening in America right now, the division, the hardness of hearts, the way people who claim to follow Christ treat each other and everyone else, the way the church has become just another institution instead of a living body of transformed people, it matches what I saw in that field. It is already coming true. The things I was shown are not future anymore. They are here. They have been arriving piece by piece, year by year, and we have been too distracted, too comfortable, too certain to notice. You want to know who gets left behind? Let me describe them to you. They are the ones who love their comfort more than their calling. They are the ones who go to church to feel good about themselves, not to be confronted by a holy God who demands everything. They are the ones who have made their faith into a cultural accessory, something that gives them identity and community, but never costs them anything. They are the ones who say, "Lord, Lord," but never actually do what Jesus says. They are the ones who have confused being religious with being transformed. And they are everywhere. They are in every church in America. They are your neighbors. They are your family members. They might be you. And I know that hurts to hear. I know that is not what you want from a video. But I am not making this video to make you feel good. I am making this video because I stood in the presence of Jesus Christ, and he showed me the truth. And the truth is that millions of people in this country are building their entire lives on a foundation that will not hold. They are preparing for an event that they assume will include them, and when it comes, they will be left behind. Not because God is cruel, but because they never actually let him change them. They never actually surrendered. They never actually died to themselves and rose again in something new. Now I want to talk about something specific because I think it matters, and I think it's being largely ignored in the conversation about the rapture. I was shown that the art of dying well is what separates the ones who are taken from the ones who are left. Not the art of believing correctly, not the art of saying the right words, the art of dying well. What does that mean? It means learning to let go of yourself while you are still alive. It means practicing surrender every single day. It means allowing God to kill the parts of you that need to die so that something new can be raised up. It means stop clutching your comfortable life and your certainties and your reputation and your pride and your anger and your judgment and your need to be right, and actually opening your hands and letting God take whatever he wants to take. I was a surgeon. I know something about dying. I have held the hearts of dying patients in my hands. I have watched the moment when the body gives up and the person leaves. And I can tell you that the people who die well, the ones who are ready, they are not the ones who have all the answers. They are not the ones with the most theology or the most church attendance or the most Bible knowledge. They are the ones who have practiced letting go. They are the ones who have learned to trust God in the small surrenders of daily life so that when the big surrender comes, they are ready. They're the ones who have stopped trying to control everything and have learned to rest in the hands of a God who is bigger than their fear. The symbolism in what I was shown was incredibly powerful. The field represented America, but not just geographic America. It represented the American church, the version of Christianity that has been built here, the comfortable and successful and powerful version that has confused the American dream with the gospel. And the people being left behind were holding Bibles, but their Bibles had become talismans instead of swords. They had become objects of comfort instead of instruments of transformation. And when the moment came, they were still holding on to the symbols of their faith without ever having actually lived the reality of it. Here's the catechesis that I was given, the teaching that I believe God wants me to pass on. The rapture is not a reward for the religious. It is an invitation to the transformed. It is not a rescue for people who said the right words. It is a homecoming for people who became like Christ, who learned to love what he loved, who learned to see what he saw, who learned to give themselves away the way he gave himself away. And the invitation is still open. It is open right now. But it closes when it closes, and none of us know when that is. So the question is not whether you believe in the rapture. The question is whether you are living in such a way that if it happened today, you would be ready. Not whether you think you're ready, not whether your pastor says you're ready, but whether God, who sees your heart, who knows the truth about you, whether he would say that you are ready. I want to ask you something, and I want you to really think about it before you answer. What is one area of your life that you have not surrendered to God? What is one thing you are still holding on to, still protecting, still refusing to give over to him? Is it your pride, your anger, your judgment of other people, your need to be right, your comfort, your money, your time, your plans? Whatever it is, that thing is keeping you from being ready. That thing is the difference between being taken and being left behind. Not because God is legalistic or demanding, but because you cannot enter into the fullness of his kingdom while you are still clutching the things of this kingdom. You have to let go to be taken up. I want to ask you another question too, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. If you are a Christian watching this, I want you to ask yourself, have I ever actually been transformed? Have I ever actually changed? Not my circumstances, not my behavior, me, the core of who I am. Have I been made new, or have I just added a religious layer on top of the same old person? Because those are two very different things. One of them gets taken up, the other gets left behind. And the church in America is full of people who have done the second thing without ever doing the first. Now I'm going to tell you something that might surprise you. I don't think this video is for people who are far from God. I think this video is for people who think they are close. I think it's for people who go to church every Sunday and who believe they are ready and who have never actually examined their own heart to see if the transformation has actually taken place. I think it's for people who have been sold a comfortable gospel that asks nothing of them and therefore changes nothing in them. I think it's for people who are trusting in their religious belonging rather than in the actual work of Christ in their lives. I think it's for people who are going to be absolutely shocked when the rapture comes, and they are standing in that field with their Bibles in their hands, still singing hymns, still confused, still left behind. And I need you to understand that I'm not saying this to condemn you. I'm saying it because I love you. I'm saying it because I was almost one of you. I'm saying it because if I had died 5 years ago, before my heart stopped on that operating table, I would have been left behind too. I know that now. I know it with absolute certainty. And the only reason I'm not in that field is because God, in his mercy, gave me 7 minutes in his presence. And in those 7 minutes, he showed me the truth about my own heart, and he gave me the chance to change. And I'm taking that chance. I'm taking it with everything I have, and I'm begging you to take it too. Look, I understand that what I'm saying is controversial. I understand that there are many interpretations of what the rapture means, and when it happens, and who it includes. I don't claim to have all the answers. I don't claim to have seen everything perfectly. What I claim is that I stood before Jesus Christ, and he showed me something, and I came back to tell you about it. And I'm telling you that the version of Christianity that dominates in America, the comfortable and successful and politically powerful version, that version is not going to make the cut. That version is producing exactly the kind of people who get left behind. And the version that will be taken up is the one that looks nothing like what we're building. It looks like surrender. It looks like brokenness. It looks like a people who have stopped trying to use God for their own purposes and have actually submitted to his. I don't know how much time we have. I don't know when this will happen. But I know that what I was shown is already unfolding. I see it every day. The hardness of hearts, the division, the way Christians treat each other and everyone else. The way the church has become just another reflection of the world instead of a countercultural community of transformed people. These are the signs. These are exactly what I was shown. And if you're watching this and you recognize what I'm describing, I want to encourage you, right now, today, to examine your own heart. Don't look at anyone else. Don't point fingers at the people in the field who are being left behind. Look at yourself. What needs to change in you? What do you need to surrender? What part of your heart have you been protecting from God? And if you already know the answer, then I want to encourage you to stop protecting it. Today, right now. Don't wait. Don't assume you'll have time later. None of us know how much time we have. And if you feel like you need someone to talk to about this, someone who won't judge you, someone who understands what it's like to have seen something that you can barely put into words, drop me a comment. Tell me your story. Tell me what you're going through. Tell me what God is showing you. Because I believe that we're in a moment right now where God is calling his people back. And I believe that the rapture is closer than most of us want to admit. And I believe that there are still people who can be ready if they choose to be. If you're new to this channel, subscribe, hit the bell, join this community. And if this video meant something to you, if it challenged you or scared you or broke your heart, I want to know. Drop a comment. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you believe. Tell me about your own faith journey. I'm reading every comment and I'm responding to as many as I can because I believe this conversation matters. I believe we need to be talking about this honestly, out in the open, without the filters and the comfortable theology and the politically correct language that keeps us from actually saying what needs to be said. The art of dying well. That's what I was shown. Not the art of believing the right things. Not the art of going to church. The art of dying well. And I want to leave you with this thought. If you were to die today, right now, in this moment, would you be ready? Not in the sense of having said a prayer or walked an aisle or signed a card. Ready in the sense that the person you have become is the person that God is calling home. Ready in the sense that you have nothing left to surrender because you have already surrendered everything. Ready in the sense that you are not clinging to anything in this world because you know that your citizenship is in heaven. If the answer is yes, then I want to celebrate with you. But if the answer is no, if there's even a shadow of doubt, if there's even a part of you that thinks maybe you're not ready, then I want to plead with you. Don't wait. Don't assume. Don't trust in your religious belonging. Get right with God today. Examine your heart. Surrender the thing you've been holding on to. Let him change you. Let him transform you. Let him make you into the person he created you to be, not the comfortable religious version that the American church has taught you to become. And if you're watching this and you know in your heart of hearts that you are exactly the kind of person I described, that you are building your life on a foundation that will not hold, then I want to tell you something. It's not too late. It is not too late. God is patient. He is calling you back. He is inviting you into something real and something true and something transformative. All you have to do is stop performing and start surrendering. All you have to do is stop holding on and start letting go. All you have to do is stop being religious and start being his. I don't know if I'll make another video like this. I don't know if I'll have the strength to keep talking about what I saw, but I know that I had to say it. I know that God placed this on my heart, and I had to get it out of my chest and into the world, even if it costs me, even if people hate me for it, even if I'm wrong about some of the details. Because if I'm right, if even one person watches this and changes course, if even one person examines their heart and surrenders the thing they were holding on to, then this video was worth making. Then my 7 minutes in the presence of God were worth sharing. The rapture is real. The left behind are real. And millions of American Christians are going to be shocked when the moment comes. Unless they wake up. Unless they examine their hearts. Unless they stop trusting in their comfortable version of faith and start actually living the real thing. That's what I saw. That's what I came back to tell you. What you do with it is up to you. I'll see you in the comments.